Okay guys, I do my very best to bring you information and content that will enrich your lives in the sneaker world out there, but sometimes it's questions that I bring to you rather than answers, and today there's quite a lot of questions about this, the Air Force One Pixel. Now I've done a lot of Air Force One videos. Let's choose, let's choose I believe that's, a co.jp Air Force One, because here I am in Tokyo, Japan, and that's a great Air Force One to definitely promote what I'm doing here in Japan and what my hope for this channel is. But that's a very standard Air Force One silhouette, and today, bang, we've got this guy right here today, this Pixel, and in particular it's the Pixel Snakeskins. But this took me by surprise. Now I had never seen this silhouette before looking at this video, and I'm really worried that it's been out for ages, that this Pixel silhouette has been around for a long time, and I'm just kind of getting to it really late because I'm out here in Tokyo, Japan, and I've missed a beat on these guys. Or it's the latest thing from the Air Force One line, and this is the kind of new sort of, changing it up at the Air Force Ones, because, 39 years now of that similar, same, unchanged silhouette. They're getting towards their 40th anniversary year, and they're starting to play with the silhouette a little bit. So it might be a brand new thing, and this is the first time you've heard of it as much as the first time I've told anyone about it. So there's a few questions in today's video, but what I'm going to try and do is I'm going to break it into two parts, and we'll talk about the general structure of these Air Force One Pixels and what I think is repeated on any Air Force One Pixel, and then we'll talk about the specific branding on this particular version of the upcoming release of the Nike Air Force One Pixel Snakeskin. This is the Tokyo Bada 23 Sneaker Channel. Tokyo Bada 23 Sneaker Channel des. Mainichi Upsun de Mainichi Meet Design. Every single day from Tokyo, Japan, I bring you content about upcoming sneaker releases, sneaker news, and sneaker reviews. 7 days a week, non-stop content every single day. It's like 800 days non-stop on YouTube. Haven't missed a single day. And today what we're looking at is a Nike Air Force One Pixel, and there's been a few sort of little, little changes at the Air Force One line over the last, 12 months or so. There's more Lux coming out, the level 7s, the L7s, the level 7s, beautiful shoes. There's one that came out recently. It was like the Magnet Orange or something like that. I can't remember what it's called. I did a video about it. It was a beautiful, beautiful shoe. And now we've got these guys, these Pixels, which are changing with the structure a bit. The Pixels, the magenta orange. It wasn't that. Oh God, that's going to really bug me. But those orange shoes, I mean, it doesn't matter what they're called, you can see them here. The structure of the Air Force One on those hasn't changed, but the quality of the materials has. But then today's shoe, these level 8s, not level 8s, that's tomorrow's video about the Nike Air Max 1s. These Pixels, they've changed the actual physical structure of the Air Force Ones, and that's kind of a big deal to me. So I'm going to go through for you guys those changes and what I see as being a constant across all the Pixels, and then we'll look at the detailing on this particular one and the branding. So first things first, I'm going to start with my least favorite part of the shoe. Sorry, Air Force One heads out there who love these guys. I don't like the branding on the tongue, the insole, or the heel. So we're up high looking at the tongue, and you can see on the right shoe it's got an AF1 on there, and on the left shoe it's got Nike NIKE. But the way they've designed that is in a sort of cube kind of design, and I really hate it. It just is not my kind of design at all. I don't know. It just seems old and dated, and what's supposed to be an update and a push forward in this shoe is actually kind of old, and it feels kind of clunky, especially the way that the N and the I and the Nike are together, and then the K and the E are on different sides of the cube, and they're outlined up there, and it's just sort of a very clunky design. And if you go back from that and have a look at the insoles, you can see that going on inside there as well, and then around to the heels, and it's difficult to see on these guys because of that snakeskin material, which we'll get into later, but you can see on the heels you've got that cubic Nike on one foot, AF1 branding on the other foot. But that, I understand, is a standard of the Pixel line. Fair enough, that's the way they want to do it. That's their choice. So starting up high with that kind of branding element, and then if you come down a little bit across the lacing system to the bottom of the laces, this is a place that is a little bit, sometimes it doesn't always go consistent. It is the Dubrays at the bottom of the lacing system. Usually you'd see a very simple metal bar there with AF1, and that would be your standard Dubrays for the Air Force One line. Sometimes they play around with it a little bit. I think it was the 0800 or 1800 toll-free guys that actually had what looked like the keys from a public telephone down there to say AF1, which was a really big departure. But today, what we've got is an extremely simple, toned down, cubic white kind of, I don't know, it's almost like a cubic cylinder. It do break down at the bottom of the lacing system there, and again, I understand that's standard for your Pixels, so not my kind of thing again, but that's the little take on the shoe. And then two more places to go for that standard kind of Pixel branding and Pixel design is, one is to go to the midsole, which is a major feature of this shoe because it's slightly enlarged, but what I'm interested in is the branding at the back where it says Air, and you can see that Air is like defragmented into two parts. So instead of just being a solid AIR Air branding, it's kind of the AIR is sort of split and separated into sort of fragmented to give that pixelated feel to the shoe. And then if we flip them upside down and have a look at the outsoles, you can see that the patterning isn't a consistent patterning on the outsole. These guys are sort of segmented again and broken up into different parts to give you that pixel kind of feel. Now for me, that's pretty much all the major features on the shoe that are repeated for any Pixel colorway. But today we're looking at this particular colorway and we want to talk about the details that make that. Now I've read that this is Sale. Again, I can't tell you the number of times I've done a video in recent days and weeks and months, and it's been a Sale shoe. And I remember thinking at the start of 2018 that every shoe seemed to be like Sale midsole, Sale upper, Sale tongue, Sale, and then that was like 6 months, and they'd stopped doing it for like 18 months. But now there seems to be this real push back to Sale again, and these guys they said in writing that it's a Sale colorway. I'm not actually feeling the Sale. It's a bit too light for me to be Sale. Sale to me has got a bit more of a creamy feel to it, and these guys, I don't feel that creaminess. It seems like a more pure white or an off-white or a bone white or something like that rather than Sale. But anyway, Sale is what they're calling it. So so one major feature of this particular shoe, not just all Air Force One Pixels, but this particular colorway, is that color of the upper. And then the other major feature is the two pieces of branding with the swoosh and the heel. And we're talking about the snakeskin. So hopefully zooming in on the swoosh right now. And not only is the swoosh in that snakeskin textured material, but also it's debossed under the leather of the rest of the upper to give a sort of lower feel to it. So it's the opposite of three-dimensional. It's like, I don't know, minus three-dimensional, the way it's sort of debossed into the leather of the shoe. And like I say, it's in that snake skin feel. And I remember one of the earliest shoes that I wanted to do a video for at the channel when I first got it. I've had the channel since 2018. Here we are in 2020 and 21 now actually, and one of the earliest ones was an Air Force One snakeskin, or was it a Dunk? I think it was an Air Force One snakeskin, and that had like the toe box and the quarter line and the lacing and all that kind of stuff in snakeskin, whereas today it's much more subdued. It's just that snakeskin swoosh that's debossed into the leather and then back to the heels again. We already looked at the branding, but now we're talking about that snakeskin material. And also it's worth bearing in mind that the structure, the physical shape of that branding unit on the back is slightly different to what you'd normally get on Air Force Ones. And that's kind of a repeating theme throughout these guys, is there's a kind of unstitched feel, where it's almost incomplete. It's like they haven't finished the bottom part of the branding panel on the back there, and it isn't secured with stitching as securely as you want it to be. And if you go back out and look at the whole shoe, you get that feeling around the lacing system that it isn't quite stitched down in the same way that you'd normally want it. It isn't as secure as you'd really want it to be. And I think that's a design element of these guys. And it's a good place to wrap up this video and finish up what we're talking about. So here we are in 2021, which is the 39th year of the Air Force One. As far as I'm aware, these are a brand new silhouette from the Air Force One line, the Pixels. I haven't seen them before, but being in Tokyo, Japan, sometimes I miss a beat on the sneaker circuit. So if these have been out for a while, definitely let me know in the comments down below. But I just saw these guys, thought, you know what, that's a shoe worth talking about and bring to the channel. So hopefully you guys appreciate it too. But it's time for me just to get off and finish up this video for today. So I'll just do what I do at the end of every single video, which is thank you guys for checking out the content, but remind you that I do this every single day, and that means that you are guaranteed to see me tomorrow.